Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently cruising our way through this endgame. We're getting very close here. And currently we're mostly interested in boosting our population. We're up to 2314 pops, so we're making good progress on that. But we're also very interested in getting a lot more alloys. Unfortunately for us, right now, we don't have very many alloys. And we're not making that many either. It's kind of a low amount, to be honest. So let's get an upgrade going there, but what we need to get some specialization going for some of these stations. This science ship is currently idle. I think we're going to get rid of it for the time being, and this construction ship out over here in Amor Alveo requires orders, and currently it looks like it just finished up there. We should head over to like Thabit and start building ourselves a habitat out over here. Okay, so there's that done. That's looking solid. We can also work on getting some of our habitat rings switched around. However, we have a bit of an issue here, which is this is our naval cap, and we should probably work on that before we convert more of these over. So for now, I'm not too concerned about that. That does mean we could theoretically get another construction ship going. For right now, I don't think I'm concerned about that either. I think for the moment, this is reasonably fine. So the current price on alloys is 3.24. That's a little higher than I'd like it to be, for sure. And if we go look at Terminal Egress Station, the question is, how many of these do we actually have going on here? 16 plus 27. Okay, so that would be 43, I think, if I'm mathing correctly. We're getting there, but we need quite a lot of additional alloys for that. So we'll keep an eye on the price of alloys,
Research
but for now,
complete.
this is looking okay. We just finished up Amoeba Flagella, and we would definitely like to continue to work our way through this. We do have fleet management procedures that would be a useful thing for us here. I think I'm going to grab that for now. That plus 20 naval capacity is okay. And that'll be a little higher than that because we do have these percentage bonuses, right? So we have currently plus 35, but then minus 25. So it's, no, hang on. It's plus 55, minus 25. Okay, so this is going to be like plus 30%, which, I mean, it's 20, so that's not going to be huge, but it's going to be slightly more than 20. So that looks fine for the moment. Now we're at 2315 pops at this time. And almost all of these pops are just being instantly put to work on pre-built jobs at this point. Our economy is stable, but not fantastic right now. We'd definitely like to continue developing that. Our art installation is making some progress, and that will bring us positive in our Unity. So that looks absolutely fine for the moment. What we need right now more than anything is alloys. And hang on. 0.97, I'm pausing the game right now because we need to make a couple of sales here. I'm just going to do this. Just tanking the price of all of that. Now I'm going to buy in 2,500 alloys. I wanted to pause there because the price was under 1 and we needed to do a fair amount to get that done. Now I'm apparently banging my knee into my desk. Excellent. This is absolutely just peak efficiency right here. Ow, that hurt. Okay, so the price is maintaining at about 2.5, and we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully it drops again. We're going to need a lot of alloys, and that's fine. But for the moment, what we need more than anything is pops. We need to be generating more
Research
alloys,
complete.
right? We did just finish up advanced torpedoes, which is fine. So next up would be, like, probably Devastator torpedoes. Let's get these done, and then we can get some of those in-progress ones finished. That'll be fine. So that'll be 48 months, so that'll take some time, for sure. Seems fine. I do want to hop on down to the Terminal Egress Station here and queue up a few defense platforms with the alloys that we have. So we'll do that. That'll be absolutely fine. This is now 25 here, plus, actually 24 plus 30, that would be 54. Nisa Turan Prime having gang wars. Okay, we do have the Precinct House here, putting us at only 27. We're running an I think for the moment, this is reasonably fine. Yeah, we would be at 0 if we didn't have the Gang Wars modifier. So I think for the moment, that's okay. We don't really need to do too much about that. That looks solid. What we do need to do, of course, is get roughly 1 trillion additional pops, right? That's the major lack that we have right now. We did just lose our head of research, so we're going to need to put somebody in here, and we could recruit someone for that. Council agenda speed. What is, that's Storm Rider. Okay. So this would be Void Tracker. Council agenda speed isn't too bad. I think we're going to have to go with that. Okay. So we would then put in, say... Yeah, I'm going to go with Politician 2. I'm not a huge fan of that, but Council agenda speed is okay. Anomaly research speed, and then, ooh, docked ship upkeep reduction. That's actually going to be handy for us for the time being. So that looks good. We will definitely get that docked ship upkeep reduction. Absolutely wonderful. And we're now at 2321 pops. We're making very solid progress on our pop growth. No doubt about that. I would love it if some of these civilian ships would finish up. How many of these do we have? 8? Okay. For the moment, I'm going to take this up to 10.
Handshake protocols activated.
Where are we? Construction ships. There we go. We'll make 2 of these. And I'm thinking we'll send 1 up this way and 1 down this way. That should be fine. The reason I want to make more of these is because we're not going to be changing our orbital rings, at least for a while. And we know that we're going to build up too much influence, so we need to get some work done on that. So that's all absolutely fine for right now. We are, of course, going to head down, like, I'm thinking over this direction-ish for one of them. Something like that. This world is terraformable now. Interesting. That wasn't the case before. Let's terraform that into a tropical world. It'll take some time, but let's at least get that going. Okay, so this construction ship is idle in Aniara. Looks like that is good to go. We're going to move that into Izar, and we're going to immediately begin construction on a Habitat Central Complex down here. This is, of course, awkward timing for us because we just finished up these guys. So let's move you into Docile. For now, I'm not going to queue up anything there. And then let's move you down to, like, Weir. And I'm not going to queue up anything there yet either. We're going to let our influence build up. That will be... Who do we have a migration pact with? Hang on. Let's see here. We need to go into our contacts. And let's see here. So they're improving relations. That's fine. What icon is it for the migration pact? We're spending a quarter influence per month on that. Okay, I don't actually know the icon. It's definitely in here somewhere. So these are favors that we could collect. Have CBs. Yeah, I don't care about that. Improving relations. I don't see the icon. Okay, so who would we have that pact with? Corinth? Yes, it is Corinth. Okay, so we're going to break the migration treaty with them. They're not going to be very happy about that, but we'll do it regardless. That is mostly just to get us that... yeah, they're immediately trying to get another one. That's just to get us up to 12. Cool, so we'll save that quarter point of influence per month. That looks good. And then we're going to head into Izar here and build that Habitat Central Complex. These guys, they're going to arrive in Docile shortly. And I want to enter orbit here for right now. But we're going to have a situation where I didn't plan on having a construction ship available as soon as these guys were up. It's very sad timing. We're going to have a situation where we're going to have an idle construction ship for a while. For now, we can queue up this Habitat Central Complex right now, but we are out of influence at this time. So that's understood. The Sea Hare is going to arrive in Weir in 50 days, so that'll give it a little bit of time. to build up the influence, but it's not going to be a ton. So we're just going to move up here. We're going to have to be idle in Weir for a moment. I guess that's fine. Up to 2330 pops now, so we're definitely seeing very, very solid pop growth. I do want to check through here, see if any of these need jobs, and actually, Coach Up Secundus does. Remarkably. So let's get a research complex going in there. That'll be absolutely fine. The job may migrate before that gets finished, but, you know, whatever. But that's the only location where we needed anything. So that's...
Handshake protocols activated.
More migration treaty proposals coming in here. Now, in theory, migration treaties might be good for us because pops could migrate to us, to our open jobs. That's definitely something to think about, but it also costs us influence, and for now, I would rather put that influence into habitats. I think that's a better place to put our influence for the moment. Later on, once our habitats are basically built, we would be interested in getting some migration treaties going at that time. I doubt we'll get to that point. So that's definitely something to consider. We'll listen to the Farseer's words, and of course, this construction ship currently idle in Weir, which is fully expected. So we'll have this construction ship head out to, say, Weir 3 here, but we're going to be a long ways away on the influence. We're gaining 12 per month, so on average, 12.03, or actually I should do it this way, 160 divided by 12.03 is on average 13.3 months. Okay, so this construction ship is going to be idle for a while. Understood. A decent amount of time, actually. So how's the price on alloys? Cheap. Very cheap. Let's buy a few. Fantastic. Coming on down to the terminal egress station, I want to continue to get this guy maxed out eventually. So we're lacking a few more alloys. We are up to 29 queued up here, and we have 34 built. So we're really, 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 really close to having terminal egress maxed out. That's looking solid. Then we've got these 3 that are completely fresh to go. Then we've got Amlitzer, which has a couple started. And then we'd be done with this project. So that is really good. Of course, we do need a lot of alloys to make that happen, and our price constraints on alloys are it's a very thin margin at this point. We're looking for under 2, which is a really low price for alloys. I want to be clear about that. That's an incredibly low price. I'm going to sell off a little bit here. Ah, a death of our leader, huh? Okay. We will chant for his soul until we meet again. That's probably going to put our unity positive for a little while. I'm also going to... I think we'll leave this be for a little bit. Price on alloys is nice and low, so we'll buy at least... There we go. That looks solid. And we're now up to 61 influence, so we just need 100 more. It's, you know, kind of a lot, to be sure. But that's fine for the moment. So yeah, just the sea hare here idle, and that is good. We will definitely get that non-idle as soon as we can. Let's check through our jobs. We're at 2331 pops. I don't think that's actually a significant gain. I think we had 1 pop growth since we last looked. That's not ideal. I would prefer there to be quite a lot more pop. We need so many. So many. The good news is we have a lot of colonies that are growing simultaneously at this point. The colonies grow pretty slowly per colony, but when you have this many colonies, it definitely starts to ramp up. Ah, there's another 2 pops coming in. I like it. That's fantastic. We're at 74 influence at the moment, and how's that price looking on alloys? Quite good. So let's buy a few more alloys, and I think we can max out the terminal egress station now. We're very close to it. Okay, so we're at 35, and we have queued up here. We have queued up 40, so that'll put us at 75. We're so close. We need 3 defense platforms here. Okay, so that is understood. We'll get the month tick here. That is going to give us enough to queue up 1 defense platform. The price is mediocre. I'm going to buy 2,500 more. I just want to get terminal egress fully queued. There we go. Terminal egress is now done. So that's great. Next up would be Hope's End, which is this starbase. Getting that built up is actually a really big deal because we need that to be able to hold against the Netfunken Vestige. We know that they declare war on us repeatedly. We've been at war with them like 4 times in the last few years. So let's get going on this. We're going to need to at least get started on a few. So that's looking good. How's that price on alloys? It's high. I'm not shocked about that. That seems about right. Autosave going through, and unfortunately, since the last time we looked, we've not gained a single pop. That's unfortunate, but sometimes that does happen. We're up to 98 influence, and that's looking good, though. I want to check in on our construction ships. How are they doing? Okay, so this construction ship up in Dojak is currently idle. That's awkward timing. Well, we can get it moving. It's going to have to move somewhere pretty far away. I'm thinking down here. So we can move it to, say, Lazon. Yeah, that'll take it a little bit to get there. 135 days. That'll buy us time to build up some influence. We're going to need more, though, because we already have an idle construction ship. Yeah, this timing is not amazing. We did just finish up a construction here as well. This, however, is finishing up a habitat, and oh, wait a second. This is going to be a problem, isn't it? Because this is only around a black hole. We're going to send out our colonization bugs. Do we have anything in here? Okay, we do have habitats to build. Good. Or specifically orbitals to build. So we can put in a major here. This has nothing in it other than this ring segment B. Okay, we could build a major orbital around the star here. Can we build anything around this ring segment? The answer is no. Okay. Let's come on down over here and build an orbital this direction. This would be a major orbital here. And then we would put in a minor orbital here. Down this way would be a major orbital. Down here would be a major orbital as well. So that's not a huge number of constructions, but at least it keeps this ship busy for a while we work on building up our influence. Yikes. Timing is very... Okay. So I don't want to change our naval capacity until that increases. The way that that's going to go ahead and increase is going to be things like this, right? There's a whole lot of soldier jobs that we can fill out here. In fact, we're at 2 medical workers right now. Yeah, requires planetary administration, which requires pops greater than 10. So we're definitely going to need a lot of work on that location. Understood. That's fine for the moment. Okay, so at least we're at 2334 pops now. We had 1 pop grow since we last checked. There's not going to be anything in here, right? Unless, well, it's very unlikely. Theoretically possible, but very unlikely. Yeah, there's nothing there. That's pretty much what I... How are we doing on the tick rate anyway? Let's check in on that real quick. So we can see the average tick rate is about 750 milliseconds. It is dropping a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be rough. There's no doubt about it. That's just the way late game Stellaris works. We can only offer our perspective, indeed. Okay, so we're at 134 influence right now. So we're currently looking at 3 months until we have the influence that we need to get this construction ship no longer idle. We're going to be arriving in Lazon in less time than that. So that's understood. And unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So it feels like given construction completions, it was a little ambitious to go up to 10 construction ships. However, I think that long term, this will likely even out. We just happened to have some bad timing with it. And I think that long term, we're going to be okay running 10 construction ships. We're just going to have some idle ones right now while we work through this brief deficit. I was not planning to have, like, 3 habitats finishing. Or rather, 3 sets of orbitals finishing, I should say. Habitats finishing aren't the problem, because then we have to go through and build the orbitals. And that doesn't cost influence. So that's absolutely fine, no issue there. Okay, so we are currently about 1 month tick away from being able to get this construction ship going. That would be absolutely wonderful, of course. Okay, we are currently lacking 2 influence. It is still 160, right? It's the same cost? Yeah, still 160. Okay, that's what I expected. So, I mean, at least we get that 20% Voidborn bonus. This could cost 200 each, which would be way tougher. So that's nice. Let's finish up this year tick here, and as we can see here, the Mischievous Muscle is currently idle. That's to be expected. At least we're only going to have 1 idle construction ship after this month tick. So that's something, anyway. Let's go ahead and get this Habitat Central Complex going. Oh, a storm right over here. Okay, a magnetic storm? That's not too bad. How's this Shroud Storm doing, anyway? 76 years remaining on that? Okay. Things seem to be going broadly fine with the Shroud Storm. It's moving around enough up here that we're able to recover. So that's looking good. Okay, we're at 2338 pops. That's 5 additional pops since we last checked. There very well might be something to do here. That's remarkable stuff. What do we got? Absolutely nothing. Okay, well, at least the pops got put to work, right? There's that. So we're down to just plus 42 consumer goods. Last month, that was 26, and it went up to 42, so presumably those pops got put to work making consumer goods. We're a little low on the consumer good count, but it's not bad at this moment. I'm fine with a surplus. In fact, I would prefer to have a surplus of 1, and any extra goes into alloy production, would be my preferred way for that to work, but that's really hard to balance and get that correct. What's the price on alloys? It's actually okay. We can buy a few of those. That looks good, because we do want to get that Hope's End station working. It's probably not anymore. Yeah, it fully completed those 2 defense platforms. Let's get a few more queued up here. Perfect. So that'll keep it busy for like 18 months. Yeah, not a problem. I like it. So that looks absolutely solid. This orbital dock can be upgraded. That's only 15 influence. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It will delay our construction of this habitat a little bit, but I feel like it's worth doing. Any others that need upgrading? The answer is no. Okay. But at least our terraformations are proceeding nicely. And there's also this art installation, which will be finishing up in 783 days. Okay. That looks solid. Planets with unemployment. Hang on. Where? There's got to be one in here somewhere, right? It said so in the tooltip. Here, Ceridon. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to build the Habitat Central Control. That will actually solve the problem for now. But I'm also going to upgrade this to an energy nexus, and I'm going to spam out these reactor districts. So that will put us into a position where we have way too many jobs in Ceridon, which, you know, puts us right back to where we were. But at least we got something to do in terms of planetary construction. We have so many worlds here with so many open jobs. Like, there's 10 here, and we can expand this so much more. In fact, we can clear off these tile blockers. Sure. Why not? We may as well. Some of these have tile blockers as well. 6 blockers here. I mean, we're kind of out of energy credits. We can wait for a month tick here and get a few more of these going. Or we could just sell some goods. I mean, that's also an option. We could just sell off some 0 here. And there we go. Perfect. So we can get all that queued up. I suppose we could go through these and eliminate tile blockers in all of these areas. A lot of these aren't going to have tile blockers, but some will. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing to do. We'll eventually run out of energy credits again, but... Okay, nothing here. There is possibly one here. Yep, a ruined district. We just finished up a habitat complex in Sarpocus, so that means that we need to send out our colonization bugs. Let's go ahead and do that. And we also need to potentially, yeah, we can build orbitals here. So a major orbital would be built here. Kind of an awkward path, but sure. This would be a minor orbital here. This would be a major. Down over this direction would be a major orbital. There we go. And now it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we may go through and clear off a bunch more of these tile blockers. If I remember, there's definitely a lot of them to do, so clearing these off would be very good. Ultimately, we're going to need it, but it won't give us any immediate benefit. So that's definitely something to think about. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Andy McGar, Dark Horse Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.